My grandfathers worked for 40 years, a little bit longer. And at the end of their 40 years, they retired, just like many of us hope to do. And they took a pension. And I don't think too many of us can expect the same end to our working career. Over the last few generations, the amount of people who are taking pensions has dwindled, as we've seen the rise of 401ks and IRAs pick up and become the vehicle of choice for people to save for retirement. So I wanted to talk to all of you today, who are my shipmates here at sea, because we're all young. We all have a bright future in front of us, and we all have a lot of potential to make a lot of money while we serve here in the Navy. And I want to share a life philosophy with you that might help you make better choices and improve your quality of life and the freedom that you experience over the course of your life and your careers. Why is this so important to me, and why am I talking to you now? I mean, nobody likes to sit through a canned speech about finance or insurance or any of this other stuff, and I promise you this is not it. I'm not going to give you investment advice outside of one piece of information. But it's important to me because when you think about your life and the future and you look back, people have regrets. And in a book that was published about regrets of the dying, there were 5 things that the author mentioned, and the top 2 I've encapsulated here. Can anybody guess what some of the top 2 regrets of the dying are?
Not having expressed love enough.
That was one of them. It's not one that I have here, but it fits in. That was definitely one of them. Joe?
I wished I'd have spent more time with my family and friends.
Nail on the head. Anyone else? Anything else? Carrie?
Should have spent more time playing, having fun.
Exactly. So I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I'd spent more time somewhere else. In your lifetime, if you work full time, if you have that privilege to work full time for 40 years like my grandparents did, you'll have spent over 60,000 hours in your choice of work. And it's not always your choice to be there. And the other thing, which Pat said, I wish I had lived my life my way. I wish I had done the things that I had wanted to do in my life, not the things that necessarily that I had to do. And so, Mustachianism as a philosophy and as a way of handling your finances is a way to shift that 60,000 hours from time that I have to spend to time that I choose to spend working. And spending the rest of it doing the things that you want to do. Spending the time with your families and spending time exploring life's opportunities. So what is Mustachianism? It's a big word, so for those of you who have hippopotamophobia, it might be a little intimidating, but it's really simple. It's a system of beliefs, and it hinges on things that are centuries old. Stoicism, it's been around, boy, I don't even know, BC, right? The late philosopher Epictetus was a great Stoic philosopher, and he spent a lot of his time wondering how we can live a better life with what we have. It focuses on what you can control in your life and how you can react to the things that happen to you to live the most wonderful life. It hinges on optimism. You have to have optimism. You have to have optimism if you're going to put your money somewhere in the stock market, for one, or any other thing. We have optimism, whether you believe it or not, that the system that we're in right now, more or less, is going to be there in 20 years for us. And it requires you to be data conscious. We're going to take information and we're going to use it to our advantage to plan our lives and to plan our futures. As I said, it's personal finance methodology, and here's the tagline. I'll let you read that if you can. That's the simple premise. And here's the key, and Art, I'm sure, would have some other things to add to this. Financial independence. How do I define it? I've already kind of mentioned, work becomes a choice. It's the point in your life when your money does the work for you, instead of you doing the work for you. So let's cover the path. There's 3 things I want to go through. To become a Mustachian, you need to simplify your life. You need to optimize your life. I'm talking life hacks here. Laura, life hacks. No?
Do I need a mustache?
You don't. You can draw a mustache right there and live it. And you need the discipline to stick with the path. And this goes for any kind of life change you want to do. Any path you want to follow, you need discipline. And I'll provide you with a real simple way to maintain discipline on this path. That's a spherical cow. I'm a physicist. I want to launch a cow. The air drag is hard to estimate for a real cow, so we just assume it's a sphere, move on with our life. When you're planning for retirement, it's very complex. There's a lot of different factors that go into it. So I'm going to just simplify some things to make it a little easier for you to focus your energy. First, how much do I need? It's a big question. Research has shown that when you take a portfolio, and they've taken portfolios over the years, and they said, mix of stocks and bonds, how long is it going to last? I want it to last 30 years or more. Yeah, right? 30 years or more is how long you want your money to last, in the minimum. And so how much do you need for that to happen? Research has shown you need to be able to take 4% of your nest egg a year, and that's the safe withdrawal rate. So you need 25 times your annual spending. Notice I said your annual spending. And then how do I invest? And this is my one piece. I'm not a financial advisor. This is what I've come to over years. To simplify for yourself and to give yourself the greatest chance, you want to be involved in a broad portfolio, which an index fund will do for you, and preferably one that pays dividends and has a low cost of operation. That's my investment advice. Take it or leave it. As I said, we're going to optimize. This is our life hacks. Doing more with less, making your resources work for you, finding ways to make a penny stretch for a dollar, which my mom was very good at, and I learned from her how to do a lot of things in my life with a little bit of money. And remember, this is the key point. Every permanent reduction in your annual spending reduces the amount of money you need to save to retire. You get 25 times a lesser number, and it gives you more time to takes you less time to get to your goal. Time is money, but money is time. Every choice you make, every choice you make to spend money is also a choice that you're making to spend more time at work. So you have to balance that. And I said I was going to give you a key to discipline. This is it. This is how much you save as a percent of your income. You can see over there, this is how much time you're going to spend working, if that's how much you save, assuming about a 7% return, which is reasonable over the history of the stock market. You can see if you spend 5%, you're working 66 years. Some people do. If you can increase that up to, and it goes farther than this, I only printed 50% because I'm a realist. 17 years. 17 years if you spend 50% of your money. So if that doesn't help keep you on track with making financial decisions, I don't know what else will. But I will tell you, you're young. You can work hard now while you have fewer obligations. Make yourself more valuable, you'll earn more money, you'll get to your goals faster. Minimize desires. Now this is a whole conversation in and of itself, and I won't delve into it. Just know that every time you spend something on a luxury or a convenience, you're making a choice to work longer and spend less time with your family and friends, which will help you maximize your savings and achieve peak Mustachianism. And I'll leave you with this because I'm out of time. By focusing on happiness itself, you can lead a much better life than those who focus on convenience and luxury. Spoken by Mr. Money Mustache. Please Google him if you want to learn more, or come talk to me later. Thank you.